Greetings, my name is Malika, King Majesty's daughter. So today is the pick a card reading, which means that there are 5 different options or 5 different messages, right? The options on the screen represent those messages. Any one or ones that your intuition is drawn towards, that is where your messages lie. So focus on the options in front of you and then choose one or more than one, and check the comment section or the description box for the timestamps for where those messages begin. Okay, if you need more time, pause the video and focus on it and choose the ones that you're called towards. This is a group reading. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. It is important to note that I'm here right now to give you a reading for 2025. Now, you have a choice. You can choose from one of these 5 decks. You could even choose 2 different decks. It's up to you. But one thing is for sure, you don't have the power to choose the wrong one. So, here goes. Now let's go for group 1. If you choose group 1, please pay attention. Your first card in group 1 is prosperity, suggesting that this is a prosperous year for you. It is important for you to keep your eyes open for opportunities and take them as they come. Your second card here is energy, suggesting that your energy will be high and that there will be a new beginning in your life from one angle or the other, but it's a good beginning. Your third card is joy, suggesting that you will be happy. This year bring great happiness to you and yours. You have another card which is called the world. The world is all about traveling. Those of you who are free to travel may actually get opportunities, and some will get opportunities to travel, and some will travel for sure. Some people may not travel abroad, but they will travel a lot more inland. All these cards so far are prosperity cards. So you're looking good for 2025. But there's more. There's a card here called the Fool, suggesting that you must be very careful not to lend people your money, because some people may actually take you for a fool and save their money while spending yours, and many may not even pay back. So if you're going to lend someone money, make sure that they sign a promissory note so that you can get redress in any court if they refuse to pay. Now we got the Prince of Aspiration, suggesting that among you, one of you have a son who clearly this year you will see his potential. He will aspire to very high goals this year. And those of you who are young and who are male, it can also be for you. This is the time for you to rise. Have no doubts in yourself. There's another card here now called Change, and this is a warning card. Those of you who are tobacco smokers should stop, because here there is 6 swords. The 4 in the middle are rotten. The 2 on the outside look good. Therefore, you could look real good on the outside, but you could be feeding yourself with cancer. Please leave tobacco smoking alone. And there's another card here now called Uncertainty, and this card suggests that you have this fear of not being certain about your safety. It is important that you pray. Pray at your prayer time. If you watch my show, listen to my show on Radio Jamaica, it is every Monday night at exactly 12 o'clock midnight. You can learn your prayer time, or you can text me on my number on WhatsApp, 876-844-2295. That is 876-844-2295. And I can explain to you what time of the day is your prayer time and what direction you ought to face while in prayer. This is a very very powerful man to God contact technology. There's another card here now called Potency. This is a card that shows that you are gifted. This year, someone who had chosen deck 1 will realize his or her gift, and it's going to be beautiful. And then now we got another prince, the prince of construction, suggesting that there's a young man who is learning a trade. Perhaps he wants to be a mason. Perhaps he wants to be a carpenter. Perhaps he wants to do plumbing, but he wants to work in building. You will get a lot of opportunity to expand. You may even realize that you can do it on your own now, after quite a few years of practice. And there's another card called Justice. Someone who's watching this and who has chosen deck 1 may have to go to court, but justice is on your side. You will win. There's another card here now called the King of Innovation, suggesting that there's a man who's watching this, who has chosen deck 1, who will either get married or make up his mind finally to get married, or know for sure who his wife, his true love, really is this year. And now we got the Star, suggesting that there's a woman who has chosen deck 1, who will either find her soulmate or know who is her mate, or get a proposal for marriage this year, or actually get married this year. And there's another card that warns, if you have chosen this deck, you should stop eating late at night. You're making yourself sick. You get hungry in the night, drink some herbal tea. Do not, I repeat, do not eat heavily at night. And then there's the King of Swords. There's someone who has broken the law, who is breaking the law, but you need to know that you are being watched. The King of Swords have a lot to do with the police. You're being observed. So be at your best behavior. Be cautious. Do the right thing. Stop doing what you're doing. You will get caught. And there's another card called Skill, suggesting for someone who has chosen deck 1 is that your skills are going to improve, enabling you to do very well financially. And it all begins this year. Now, there's 2 cards left. And these 2 cards is from a deck called the Art of War. You know, life has its battles. We are all constantly on the battlefield in one way or the other. So here's the advice. The first card says, offer your foe a golden bridge. Offer your foe a golden bridge. It is important that you learn to let go of the past. Forgive. It says here, a disagreement can turn nasty in the blink of an eye. A disagreement can turn nasty in the blink of an eye. Offering a golden bridge to your opponent to retreat over, even if it's sending them a message asking to talk, can start the healing process. Defeat is humiliating. Retreating over this bridge helps them avoid that humiliation and can motivate them to reconnect with you. And the flip side here says, Sun Tzu said, when you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. Commentary. If you press a desperate foe hard, he in his desperation or she in her desperation may actually deal you a very sudden and fatal blow. Not only should you protect yourself, but in some ways you need to protect your foe. So, let your foe be able to save face too. Be careful how you pressure someone who you have a problem with. Be very, very careful. Sometimes it's better to have an out-of-court settlement than to press for big money in a court. And then he or she, in their frustration and in their fear, get rid of you in the first place so that they don't have to pay any, as opposed to paying some. A settlement is always better than all-out war. And finally, this one says, turn enemies into friends. Commentary. When someone is aggressive and in your face, stay calm, watch and learn. They may simply want to be heard. And the more they say, the more they educate you about their problem. Don't shout back or walk away. Stay silent and listen. You may be able to find a solution for them, thus turning a perceived enemy into an ally, a rare and precious skill. And Sun Tzu, the great psychic and healer, said, and Sun Tzu was also a great warrior. He was the chief student of the great Confucius, who was reputed to be the wisest man in China. By persistently hanging on the enemy's flank, we shall succeed in the long run in killing the commander-in-chief. By persistently hanging on the enemy's flank, we shall succeed in the long run in killing the commander-in-chief. In the battle of life, we're not out to kill anyone, but certainly you can kill an initiative, you can kill a negative idea, you can kill a negative situation that would have defeated you. But you must hold on to the words of this so-called perceived enemy and then turn him into what is advantageous to both of you. Now let's go to pattern number 2. Did you choose deck number 2? So now, brothers and sisters, if you choose deck number 2, then you may as well look and see, because we're here to give you more than just a clue about what is going to become of you. So check deck number 2. The first card on deck number 2 is a Queen of Contemplation, the Queen of Cups. This speaks about a woman who has faith in her tomorrow. You're going to travel. You're going overseas. It is also true that you'll either do business overseas or you'll work. Perhaps at the old people's home, taking care of elderly people. You know who you are. If it sounds like you and this card is about you, then keep listening, because there's more. There's a King of Conception. Here is a brother who always longed to have a baby. Trust me, you're going to get it this year, because you are the King of Conception. Now your sperm count is up to scratch. You just have to find a nice situation and it will bear you dividends. And here is a card called Loss, suggesting that in the past you actually lost a baby. You thought it would have been your only hope of having a child, and the woman lost the baby. This may also be speaking to a woman, the woman who lost the baby. And I'm telling you, even though you've lost the baby you have lost will return to you in your next pregnancy. Now think about that. And if you're too old to having more pregnancies but you have children, then that baby shall return to you as your first grandchild. And yes, it was a girl baby. And now we have another card here now called the Chariot. The Chariot is from a group of cards called the Large Arcana. The Chariot is a success card, suggesting that you will not only do well financially, but you're going to end up buying or acquiring a nice piece of real estate, a nice piece of property. And somewhere down the road, you're likely to also build a house on it, perhaps your dream house. And now this is the princess of growth. This speaks about some person who has chose deck number 2, who have a daughter who's very progressive and who will continue to progress. It doesn't matter how young she is or how old she is, you know we're talking about your daughter, and you know she is a winner because she is intelligent, she is brilliant, and she's not lazy at all. But there's more. There's a card called the Tower. This speaks about a divorce. Someone who's about to go through a divorce, perhaps someone who's been through a divorce, but it was a good thing. It is a good thing because it opened the door for you to find a new partner, get a new experience, transform your life. And now we have well-being. This card speaks to someone who have been going to the gym or perhaps who've been doing a lot of exercises. It could be speaking to someone who was not very well for a while. Well, guess what? This year, you will pick it up. You will wake up. You will have excellent physical well-being. Your health will improve big time. And then there's a card called the Death card, but it comes reverse. It comes upside down, suggesting that you narrowly escaped dying. But don't worry, that is the past. Get up, wake up, and live. There's another card called the Princess of Control. This speaks about a young lady who is hoping to join the police force, or maybe she's planning to join the military and become a soldier. Guess what? It's going to work out. It is going to work out. Have faith in yourself. You will get the job and you will be promoted too. And there's another card here called the Wheel of Fortune. That's the luckiest card in the entire deck. Anybody pulling this card should know that something of an extremely lucky nature will happen for you. Perhaps an elder will die and leave you a piece of property. Perhaps you win the lottery. But all I do know is that you, this year, will realize that you are the luckiest person in your entire family line. And now we have the Hangman. This card is a warning to people who are reaching middle age. You need to protect yourself from sugar problems, from diabetes. For sure, you should cut down on rice because rice tends to turn into sugar in the human body. Also, you need to drink herbal teas. Do not, I repeat, do not drink ice water. Ice water, if it doesn't destroy you when you're young, it certainly destroys you when you're old. It rottens your feet. It stops your blood from circulating. It kills. Ice water is dangerous. It's like drinking Gramazone in very slow motion. Eventually, it kills. Even cold drinks is devastating. But if you've been doing these kind of things, then the only way you can reverse that, every morning when you wake up, drink 3 cups of hot water. 3 cups of very, very warm water, one after the other. And yes, you could put some ginger in it. Maybe you can boil it like ginger tea. Just don't put no sugar in it. And yes, you can put a spoonful of honey if you want, but you need 3 cups. Not 1 cup, not 2 cups, but 3. Take time, drink it, and eat nothing at least for a good half an hour after. And now we have here the Queen of Nurture. You have your mother's love. You also will be and is already an excellent mother. Also, we have the Princess here of Cups. And this speaks of a baby girl who's going to be the joy of the party, the joy of the family. She's excellent. She's a musician, that's for sure. You have another card here, another princess. She is the Princess of Transformation. So someone who is watching this, someone who has chosen deck number 2, is going to have at least 3 daughters who will all be in their own right very successful. And you have another card here, the King of Inspiration, suggests for someone who have been eyeing deck number 2, someone who have chosen deck number 2, you have your father's blessing. If your father is dead, remember he's not as dead as you thought. He wants you to know that he's okay. he's in a safe place and he's actually watching over you. Then there's another card here called Valor. This card suggests that someone has tried to work some kind of witchcraft or black magic on you, but you have been more righteous than that person, so that person couldn't take you down. That person has failed miserably and consequently will be punished for their evil deed, but you will be fine. Now, let me give you two cards from the deck called the Art of War. Remember that life is really a battlefield. The game of life is little less than a war. And the war comes in many different ways, because every day you're tested, every day you're tried. Just don't be conquered. Allow no one to conquer you. If this card here says value your friendships, it says this, the oracle speaks. Friendship is not something you hand out to anyone. Sometimes they're only confirmed in dark and troubled times. Friendships can form instantly or grow slowly over time. An act of friendship does not have to be grand and dramatic. It can be a lot of little kindnesses added together. Friendships can take a lifetime to earn, yet be lost in a second. Nourish them. Commentary. The great Sun Tzu said, if, however, you are indulgent, be unable to make your authority felt, kind-hearted, but unable to enforce your commands, and incapable, moreover, of quelling disorder, then your soldiers must be likened to spoiled children. They are useless for any practical purpose. Commentary. Sometimes your children are your soldiers. Sometimes people around you must be nudged into doing the right thing. It is important that when people misbehave themselves, that you speak to them in a certain stern order. Let them know that you will not be part and parcel of the disrespect or the negativity, but let them know that that kind of behavior is not recommended. In that way, your aura will always be one of command. This, my friend, is important to know. Now, speaking in public. The prospect of speaking in public can be terrifying. However, it is a great skill to develop. For Sun Tzu, the enemy of the public speaker could be lack of a point, mumbling, reading your speech and making too much of your mistakes. Know yourself means know your material, relax, be confident, dress right, sober up, practice and be yourself. And Sun Tzu says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and know earth, you may make your victory complete. Commentary. It is important to know yourself, to have a resolve, to know what is right, to make sure that you do not at any time break the golden rule that says, do unto others as you'll have them do unto you. Now let's go to the third deck. Did you choose the third deck? So what does the third deck have to say? Well, one thing for sure, the first card on the third deck is the Empress. This card belongs to a female, a woman who have now become perhaps a mother, maybe a grandmother. Sometimes you may have some doubts as to if you make it. You will live to a good old age, so stop doubting yourself. And yes, your children will be there for you and grandchildren too. You are an honorable soul, basically a good woman. The second card here shows a young man. He's the Prince of Action. So this man, the Prince of Action, is young. Maybe he wants to become a policeman. Perhaps he will join or has already joined the military. Whatever though, he will do his country proud. So if you're in the military and you've chosen deck number 3, remember, you will be promoted. You will succeed. You will do well. You will do your country proud. There's another card here. If you are the one who chose deck 3, this card is victory. It means it doesn't matter what you're going through. The victory in the long term is yours. You shall be victorious. And there's another card here, which is called prudence, suggesting for someone who's chosen deck 3 that you will live into your 90s and have money coming in, even at old age. So you will be provided for. There's another card here, if you choose deck number 3, and it says conflict, suggesting that there will be some conflicts. Perhaps a conflict is brewing as we speak, but you must stand firm and yet be patient with whoever creates the conflict. Don't wage a war. If the conflict get really bad, go to court. Hit no one. Attack no one physically, because it's still all a test. You're here to be tested. That's why you're on earth. And now we got a card called desolation. Your eyes, someone who's chose deck number 3, your eyes get foggy sometimes. Your eyes are not performing to the optimum. I think you should decide not to drink ice water anymore. That can have a devastating effect on your eyes. Also, you need to drink 3 cups of very warm water every morning when you wake up. You can wash your eyes also with very, very young coconut water. The coconut that's grown as big as your fist. You use that as eye wash. It is excellent. There's certain herbs you can drink too in teas. Herbs like eye bright. Herbs like bilberry. Very good to drink in tea. But then you can take it a step further. You should anoint your navel, your belly button, with virgin olive oil. And then massage about an inch around your navel with that same oil, and do it religiously every night before you go to bed. So if you were getting dry eyes problem or developing certain eye problems, it can actually heal your eyes, because your eyes are connected to the picote, which is your belly button or your navel. Then there's another card here now called instability. This card is a warning to alcoholics. Leave it alone. Your liver is going to be destroyed. Stop drinking. You are already in danger. Come out of it. This card is saying here that your life and your future is very unstable because of alcoholism, because of rum drinking. Leave it alone. Save yourself. There's another card here now, and it says despair. This is a card that suggests that you get really depressed sometimes. Sometimes you feel as though your life is coming to nothing. You need to think positive. You're thinking in the wrong pattern. Stop awfulizing. Stop expecting the worst. Learn to trust the powers that be. I can assure you that you'll be much better off to get up early every morning and take a walk, even a 30 minutes walk. Do it every morning religiously, and you'll feel much better. The herbs you can drink, there's a herb called vervain, Vervain. There's another herb called rosemary, and another one called skullcap, Skullcap. Drink those herbs in tea and get rid of your depression. There's another card here, and it's the Queen of Reason. This card speaks about a woman that sometimes you think she don't like you. She's a stern woman. She may be the mother of your wife, the mother of your baby mother, the mother of your girlfriend. She could be the mother of your boyfriend, the mother of your husband. But whoever she is, she don't mean anything bad really. She's just a firm human being who wants to see things done right. Respect her accordingly. Do not assume that you know what she's thinking. You may sin against her because of that. Don't jump to conclusions. And do everything in your power not to treat her with disrespect or hate. Because she don't mean to be negative. She's just a firm human being. She should be respected. Because in her deliberations, she's seldom wrong. There's another card here, and it's called speed. There's a young person who have a car and who drive like he get away from prison. Take your time. Because this year, if you don't take your time, you could get into major trouble because of speeding. Take your time. Love yourself. And you're going to win this year. There's another card here now, and it's called love. This is saying that someone who have chosen this third deck will definitely find true love this year. And someone will also get married this year who really find the love that he or she deserves. Another card here now is oppression. There's someone who's been drawn to this card who has a case in court or who has been very reckless. It's very possible that you could end up in prison if you don't correct your ways. Prison is not a good place to be. Walk away from crime. Leave it alone. Save yourself. There's another card here, and it's called wealth. If you've chosen the third deck, I'll tell you that one day the opportunity will come for you to become very wealthy. Don't miss that opportunity. Put your shoulder to the wheel and do whatever you know that can help you to advance yourself without breaking the law. There's another card here now, and it's called the Sun, suggesting that someone who has chosen this deck, deck number 3, is definitely going to have an excellent marriage, work and have a business together, both husband and wife, and travel. You know who you are. You know how you've been thinking about what you need to do. You will get it done. Don't give up. Just remember to pray at your prayer time. If you don't know your prayer time, you can call me or send me a text on WhatsApp. Text me your birth date and year of birth. My number is 876-844-2295. That is 876-844-2295. But there's more. There's a card here, and it's called preparation. Well, someone who has chosen this third deck is now pregnant. You may not know that you're pregnant, but you are. But this could also mean a pregnancy in the family. But whoever that child is definitely the greatest thing that ever happened to the family. So don't abort it. Not if you can stop, avoid doing something like that. And your final card is unity, which means a good life, a good marriage, true love. Now let's go to these two cards here that came from the Art of War. The first one is keep your cool. Modern life can be stressful and is often full of disorder and hubbub, including disagreements, arguments, or even worse. Calm down. You may need it. The fastest way to lose focus is to lose your cool. Take a deep breath and think before acting. If you can keep your wits about you in the midst of a crisis, it will serve you well. The flip side here is Sun Tzu said, disciplined and calm to await the appearance of disorder and hubbub amongst the enemy. This is the art of retaining self-possession. Patience, my friend, is great virtue. Wait and see what the opposition will do. Trying to hurt you, they will hurt themselves if you be patient enough. To not stir up strife, just observe. The second card is keep your fights short. Sun Tzu advised that your objective should be to win the war, not keep winning the small battles. It's great advice for couples. Say your piece politely and with respect. Listen to theirs in the same manner, then move towards peace. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Deal with it then and there and leave it behind you. Meanwhile, Sun Tzu said here, there is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. Any country that wage war is going to lose a lot of its resources fighting that war if the war fight on for years and years and years. Therefore, it is important that we do everything in our power not to be involved in warfare. It is called saving yourself and also saving others without bloodshed. Now, if you had chosen the fourth deck, let's check it out. Deck number 4. The first card here is called Gain. Gain means that you're not a loser. You cannot lose. You're born to win. Your second card here is called the Lovers, suggesting that you will connect in the spirit of true love and do well financially together and win. The only thing you gotta do is be careful not to get tied up in shameful behavior, disorderly conduct. Do not assume anything. Just be at your best. And that is good advice for lovers. Jealousy should never ever have a place in your life. A jealous person is not mentally sound. Let it go. To be jealous is to be dangerous to yourself and others. Now we have a card here called Adaptation, suggesting that someone you know, someone in the family, is going to give birth to a twin of girls. And here's another card, that someone is going to have a son who is going to turn out to be excellent in music and sports. And now we have a card called Success. If you were drawn to the fourth card, success is in the cards for you. That is for sure. And now we got the Priestess, which is the woman in her wedding gown, suggesting that if you had drawn the fourth deck, you are likely to get married. And now we got another card called Satisfaction, suggesting that not only will you get married, but you will be satisfied with your spouse performance in life. You will be satisfied. Both sexually, financially, you will be satisfied in your marriage. Then there's a card called Order, suggesting that your life is in order. You will attain whatever it is that you're born to get, you will get. And remember, what don't catch you don't pass you yet. So rejoice. It is coming. The goodness and the blessings that you deserve is coming. And now we got Judgment. Someone who has chosen this deck has already had an abortion. And we know you feel very bad about it. Well, put it this way. What is done is already done. It is important, though, that you understand two things. You ought to apply to the powers that be for their forgiveness. You should pray at your prayer time. You can call me or text me anytime and find out what time is your prayer time. My number is 876-844-2295. Contact me. Get to know your prayer time and your direction of power so that you can talk to your guardian angel, humble yourself, and ask for their forgiveness. There's another card in called Strength, suggesting that you will prove to be a strength to your mother, perhaps to your father, but you'll also have a child who will be a major strength in your life as you grow older. Then there's a card called Peace, suggesting that you will live a peaceful life. And you have a card called Sorrow, suggesting that you're going to hear some bad news, but you can't do anything about it. You're going to have to learn to take the bad with the good and keep yourself happy. Then there's the Emperor, which means for someone who has chosen this deck, number 3, God is with you. It is clear that God is with you. Also, you have your father's blessings. Also, if you're a male, you will make a very good father. And then we got the devil come upside down, suggesting that someone worked witchcraft against you big time in the past, but they failed. The devil's plot was overthrown because you maintain your discipline, your integrity, and your self-respect. There's a card called the Hermit, suggesting that you will live into your 90s and have your faculties, no Alzheimer's, no dementia. Don't worry about those things. It cannot come nigh you. And the first card from the Art of War, Sun Tzu said, in all fighting, the direct method may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed in order to secure victory. In all fighting, the direct method may be used for joining battle, but indirect methods will be needed in order to secure victory. So it's easy to start a war. You can always join a war. But when it comes to securing the victory and stepping out of the war, you have to use your head. First, you must think victorious. And secondly, you must pay great respect to the one that oppose you. Do not attack, but protect yourself. And it goes, it says, reason over power. In an argument, the most determined, loudest, or nastiest contestant may win, with little reason involved. To use influence over power to win is harder. Someone highly skilled at using indirect methods will win without their adversary even knowing there was a fight. To do this, you need to understand the situation better than the others to get reason into play. The other card here says, Sun Tzu says, on the day they are ordered out to battle, your soldiers may weep. Those sitting up, bedwing their garments, and those lying down, letting the tears run down their cheeks. But let them once be brought to bay, and they will display courage. So, even though your soldiers may feel like there's no hope for them, it depends on what you say to them. Even though your children may feel defeated at school, it depends on what motivational talks you can give them that make them drop all the negativity, drop all the fear, and get up and fight to win. Not fight like war, but defeat spiritual wickedness through temperance, through moderate indulgence, and through self-restraint. That, my friend, is the art of winning life's battles. And the flip side says, feel the fear and do it anyway. Nelson Mandela once wrote, the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. If you need to do something fearful, remember President Roosevelt's declaration that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Face it. Share your fear with friends. There's safety in numbers. And if you feel safe, you will feel braver. So there end of the fourth deck. If you have chosen the fifth deck, you may be wondering what it says for you. So here goes. The first card here is called Temporary. This card actually suggests that this is not your first time on earth. You see, the elders have concluded that we got 5 fingers on every hand and 5 toes on every foot for a reason. 5 is the official number of returning. You can give someone something with your 5 fingers and they can return it to you with their 5 fingers. In other words, your 5th grandparent is you. Your great-great-great-great-great-grandparent was you. His or her great-great-great-great-great-grandparent was you. His or her great-great-great-great-great-grandparent was you. And likewise, it is important to make a child because to get your ticket to come back to planet Earth, to get you back your Earth experience visa, it is important to have an offspring because your first great-great-great-great-great-grandchild will be you, guaranteed. And you'll be back because you have provided for yourself to be back by creating a child, letting other ancestors who need to come back here. That's the deal. So, temporary suggests that you've been on earth many times before. You did well in your past lifetime. You will do very well in this lifetime. And now we got a card called Endeavor, suggesting that your sex life is going to step up. Your sexual endeavors and your business endeavors will both come to a permanent, positive, and conclusive result. And then you got a card called Imagination. Pray for whatever it is that you need. Meditate on it and pretend that you've already gotten it. And it comes beautifully. It is the art of sowing a good seed. Another card called Rest, suggesting that you need to remember to rest. Stop going to sleep so late at night. Your body have many different functions through the night while you're sleeping. Give it a rest. Let your organs get rest. So that at the end of the day, you'll be strong and firm next day because you've rested. And while resting, you're fasting. And that allows your body to rejuvenate and recuperate through the night. There's another card here now called Enterprise, suggesting that clearly you're going to have your own business. If you have chosen the 5th deck, I'm telling you, you're going to have your own business and it's going to do very well. You have another card here now called Reflection, suggesting that this is a card that is asking you to pay your mother more attention if she's still alive. Pay your mother some attention if she's still alive. Remember that she had nurtured you. Nurture her now. And be a good parent yourself. You have another card here now called the Magician, suggesting that there's going to be a miracle in your life. Commentary. If you're going through something where you find that you're constantly in all kinds of agony, you can contact me, and get a private reading done so we find ways to solve the problem. The number is 876-844-2295. Another card here now is called completion, suggesting that you're going to complete your lifespan. You're not going to die young. Also, you're going to complete your house too. The gods will help you. Another card called the priest, which means that you are blessed. You don't have no curse on you. It doesn't matter who you are. If you pull deck number 5, you are blessed. Some of you may even have a daughter. She's an A student. She's brilliant. And this is content. Many of you will live to a very good old age and be very contented with yourself at old age. Then we have a card of regret. Well, regret is a card that shows that you must trust your judgment. We know you had an abortion. We know you feel regretful and sorry about it. But I can tell you one thing. It is quite likely that the baby that you aborted was once an adult and that baby aborted you. So now in this life, the baby had to pay the debt of karma by you aborting it again. That's how it works. Meanwhile, remember, ask the gods for forgiveness by praying at your prayer time and face your direction of power. And once you do, trust in the powers that be and forgive yourself. Don't ask for forgiveness more than once. Ask for it and then accept it. And it's yours. Then there's a card here called Dominion, suggesting that you're going to have 2 properties or 2 homes or 2 good ways of making money. And there's a card called the Moon. Well, if you've chosen this 5th deck, it means that an opportunity is going to arise for you to either cheat on your spouse or your spouse cheat on you. Make sure that you are not the guilty one. Make sure it is not you that do the cheating, so that, because whoever do the cheating will be found out and it's going to be very, very, very shameful. Make sure it is not you, because you may not be forgiven. There's another card here now called delay, suggesting that there have been lots of delays in your life. Lots of things you thought you should get by now that you didn't get. But don't worry. Whatever is for you will come. Must come. Because it's for you, you see. Let's look at these 2 cards here from the Art of War. The first one says, get your timing right. Timing is critical in war, in business, in sport, and in our relationships with other people. Deciding on your strategy or your plan is essential, but it is only as good as it is appropriate for the situation. Don't rush in like a bull in a china shop. Wait, and when the time is right, don't hesitate. Commentary. Sun Tzu said, the quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. So, position is the art of gunnery. To do the right thing at the right time, and to be positioned properly to do so. That, my friends, is the hallmark of victory, the art of winning. Then there's another card that says, argue with respect. If both parties can remain respectful of one another during an argument, then the resolution will be something worth having. A serious argument can end in the destruction of a relationship, leaving devastation for both the defeated and the conqueror. An authentic victory is a victory over aggression, one that respects the enemy and renders further conflict unnecessary. So, treat your enemy in such a way that it's not even necessary for him to attack you. Show him some respect. Show her some respect. Allow that other person to explain themselves. And it is important to note that this person will also allow you to explain yourself. And at the end of the day, there's no more enemies, just friends. This is wisdom unveiling. be wise. Subscribe to our channel. Drop something in the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking. But many of you will have heard a card that says something, and you may want more detail. You may want clarity. Get the private reading done. Call me at 876-844-2295. It's private. The world will not hear your reading. Take it easy. Walk good. And remember, it is nice to be nice. And don't miss my radio show. It's on Radio Jamaica every Monday night, 94 FM. Radio Jamaica, every Monday night at exactly 12 o'clock midnight. It is something to see, something to behold. Don't miss it. Thank you. Sila. Bless you.